Welcome to Taco Tuesday Season 21 Round 4 at the home of British Heritage. That's right, it's Snetterton 300, known for holding the many British championships like the British Touring Car Championship, British GT and British Superbikes. Today myself, Daniel Crossman, will present Formula Racing League's very own GT3 series, Taco Tuesday, one of the best Assetto Corsa Competizione championships on console. Just before we get on to qualifying here, this is the broadcast for Taco Tuesday Tier 2 and the Formula Racing League TV YouTube, which should go live in a bit. We'll be hosting Tier 1 of this series, so the more skilled drivers in terms of raw pace. Be sure to check them out later on, or now if you want to, alongside our Patreon, Discord and Instagram. Instagram is FRL Race Hub. So we're just going to watch the dying moments of practice here. We've got about a minute left of free practice around this beautiful Snetterton track. I say beautiful, it doesn't really look it. It's going to be a very cloudy day today. There was quite a decent chance of rain coming into this round, so don't be surprised if you see some droplets falling out the sky. This is Britain after all, anything can happen. It's quite a mixed bag of things that can happen as we're watching Pinto, the number 56 car. The blacked out Ferrari. The first place car right now, Simcox, in the number 25 Lexus. You will want to look out for him quite a lot. That car is by far the best in terms of straight line speed. And obviously there is two big straights, the Senna straight and the Bentley straight. And both of those very long and will definitely pose an advantage for Simcox during this race. So everybody else just getting their final laps in now. These drivers have had 60 minutes to practice as an actual practice session, and then all the other practice laps they've done in their own free time. So, we are expecting laps today, around 46 or 45s, depending on the track condition. The track condition right now, lucky for these guys, is optimum. So this is the fastest condition that the track can be. Although there is a bit of a problem, and that is the track is quite cold, around 11 degrees today. So, drivers will need to adjust that according to their temperatures and tyre pressures. As we're going to watch Pinto pull off to the side here. And he is going to stop racing. Here's Greg Wood and the number 11 Aston Martin. One of the competitors this season. He's done really well so far. And we could also say the same in Super Sprint Sunday as well. He's leading the championship in Super Sprint Sunday for the amateur class. So he's definitely having a successful run so far as he rounds the final corner at Murray's. Just past the pit lane entry line. And across the line we go. He is going to go 9th with a decent lap at practice. But that will be all he gets, as in about minute 30 time we will start qualifying. And I will let you on a little bit of a rundown. Here we go! Qualifying is now green. We are getting underway. These drivers, pretty sure, have their setups already racked up. And the first person at the pits here, we got Nicky Wheats. First person. So he will come out. So today on the agenda for qualifying, it is a traditional 15-minute session. So 15 minutes for every driver to set the fastest lap they possibly can. They get as many laps as they want to, or as they can in that amount of time. And the quickest lap will give you first place. The second quickest lap, the second quickest driver will go second, and so on and so on. And that will set the grid, the starting order for today's 60-minute race, the special event going on today. If you're wondering, this is round 4. All the other rounds have been posted over on the YouTube account, as I said earlier, Formula Racing League TV. So be sure to check those out if you want to see how the championship's been looking so far. It's definitely been quite competitive between every one of these drivers here, especially in the Pro-Am class. So as you see on the left side, they all have red number plates, but they are actually split into two mini classes that we can't see. Pro-Am for the higher drivers in this tier, and then Amateur for the lower drivers in this tier. And we will go down the championship standings just before the race starts later on. Sticky Wheats will go through Brundle now, going into Nelson. And he will go through the bomb hole. Yes, that is the actual corner name. Coming around Coram, and we're gonna see a baseline lap time from Wheats. He is going to be the first person to set a lap time here in qualifying as he rounds the final corner in the blue and yellow Aston Martin. Now, coming down the centre straight, he's going to cross the line for the first time, flashing his lights as he crosses the line, and we're going to go through the first corner of Riches. Very, very fast double apex, if you will. You want to get as close as you can to the exit. He's done pretty well there. Brake at the double marker on the left for the Wilson hairpin. Or some people call it the spooky hairpin. And we're going to go on the run down to Palmer now. Palmer known for Palmer Motorsport. They do a lot of track days. Coming out there, you want to get a good exit out of here as well. Going into the second hairpin of the track, Agostini. As the camera moves to the middle of the track, we will watch the 77 car around the hairpin. Little mini straight here to try and maximise that exit. Going through a sharp left hand of Hamilton. Once again, another good exit needed. Coming around Oggies and Williams now we go, and we come onto the longest part of the track. This is the Bentley Straight. This is by far the Lexus's best point, so be sure to check out Simcox every time we come onto the straight, as we see him in the background there. Now go through the double of Brundle and Nelson here. Quite a decent corner, though it can mess you up quite easily. It's very hard to master. Go through the bomb hole and now going through Coram now. The long right-hander of a hairpin. Very hard to get right. Can really wear your tyres out. Going through the final corner of Murray's now. Nicky Wheats will set our baseline lap time. As McLaren goes down centre straight for the second time, he will cross the line and he will say 1:47.89. Is that going to stand the test of time? No, it won't. Simcox will go second with a 1:47.4. Who is next across the line? I think that is David de Jong. David de Jong crossed on the line now. He's going to go last out of the people that have set a lap time, as Pinto has just gone 800ths off Simcox. Caplo has had a bit of a bear. He's gone 3 seconds off, as Keller has gone first with the first 46 of the session. Marco just ahead of Simcox. Still not enough to get ahead of Keller, though. Everybody's setting their lap times now. Townsend has gone 1.5 seconds off the leader. He's had a decent lap, though. He's gone up to 7th. Brook and Kruger have set their laps. Thacker has just set a lap. Vereth crossing the line now, the number 8 car. Expect him to be near the front. He is currently... Oh, no, sorry. He did win last time around. Here's Greg Wood across the line. One of the Aston Martins. He goes 5th place. We'll see if he can stay there later on. Jordan Marshall goes down 11th. Not the best for him. We'll see if he can improve later on. Who can we watch behind? Here is the number 10 car, the purple Ferrari of Pina. He's going to cross the line coming down the centre straight. Where will he go? He will go 14th of the current runners. Decent lap for him. So the order just separating themselves now. Everybody setting their respective lap times. Here's Lemon in the white and black Aston Martin across the line. Only 3 seconds off Keller, but only 17th, so not the best result for him. We'll see if he can improve later on. Here's Gomez across the line in the black Ferrari. He now takes 15th, ahead of Duda in the Mustang. We'll see who else is setting a lap time here. No. Who have we got here? We have, there's some moving up at the front. Hold on, rounding the final corner now. The 56 car of Pinto, the black Ferrari, he's got a bit of front end damage, so maybe he's had a bit of a collision with someone. As he's going to cross the line for the second time, but doesn't improve at all. Let's look at the leader right now in the Lamborghini. Keller, well, yeah, he's going to cross the line but not improve. Not the best for him, but so far it's looking quite comfortable. in terms of lap time. Here comes Scala across the line. 21st, goes up to 18th. Not a bad lap time. It's going to be a good improvement for him, a crucial improvement. Here's Kruger across the line in the gold Mustang. Where will he go? He will stay in 13th, no improvement. There's Duda in the background. Where will he go? He's improved to 10th, sorry. Let's look further behind. Here is FaZe, right behind Gunning. Gunning the Australian, and the 121 Bentley has just crossed the line. It looks like he has gone up to 16th. Good result for him. FaZe has improved, but not by much. There's almost contact going down Riches and into the Wilson hairpin now. Looks like they were having a bit of a scrimmage. A very good hit for him. Is Lemon across the line again. Not able to improve again. Here is Owen Harris, one of the very much competitors in this championship. He's done well so far. Can he improve? Actually, he hasn't said lap time. Now he has. He's gone 10th place. That's a very good lap time for Owen Harris there. Quite crucial for him to be in the top 10 here. At least to stay in the championship, that is. Let's go back behind to the number 2 car. One of the other competitors here, Garrett Smets, 5th in the championship currently. He has gone up to 11th. He's had a really, really good lap there. We'll see if that will stand the test of time against the other competitors. Here's Marco in the greenish Ferrari. He's good across the line. No improvement to him. Here's Keller in the background. No improvement for him. What about Pinto in the number 56? No improvements here. Looks like the track is maybe getting worse. The track temperature has increased slightly from practice, so maybe the drivers are still getting used to that. As we are now in the second leg of qualifying here. Here's the number 8 of Verith crossing the line, winning last time out. No improvement here. Here's Kruger crossing the line, improvement for him. He's gone up to 9th place now. Who else can we look at behind? Here's Jordan Marshall, 11th in the Pro-Am Championship right now. He's going to cross the line and go up to 7th. Very crucial for him in terms of the championship. He will very much be happy with that one. We'll see if that sticks, though. Here's the Australian across the line. No improvement for Gunning there. Who else was in the background? I think that was Pina. We couldn't quite catch it. No improvement for him. There's also Mendes in the background. It looks like there's been a bit of an incident there for Kapler. He was quite slow coming out of Murray's. Wonder if something has happened to him. As who can we watch right now? Who is about to finish his lap? Here's Gomez. We haven't watched him. Actually, yeah, we have watched him earlier on. He's going to cross the line now. There's an Aston Martin crossing the line. No, that's a McLaren, the 777. Owen Harris will go down to 14th, but that's because competitors have done better than him. So it looks like he may need to improve to get back up the order here. What about David de Jong across the line? He's about 7.5 tenths off right now. Can he improve at all? No, looks like it's not going to be an improvement for him. Not sure if he'll be happy with that. We have missed a very, very good lap from Thacker here, sorry. The number 7 Mustang has set a 1:46.9, gone faster than Keller. Looks like Keller was basically driving away, although I say that Pinto has got 0.02 of a second off. 0.02 of a second for first place here. Very, very close qualifying so far. We've still got 5 minutes left on the clock. This is going to be extremely close by the time we reach the end. Kruger across on the line now. Can he improve? Yes, he can, up to 5th place. Everybody's improving now. Oh, he's gone off. There's a car in the way. Who was that in the way? I think that was George. Yes, the 831 column was blocking Kruger going into Riches there. Quite dangerous indeed. It looks like Thacker's improved, but only by 18 thousandths. Not the best improvement. You probably want more to have the comfort of staying ahead of Pinto here. Who can we look to further behind? Here's Pina in the purple Ferrari. Actually, let's look ahead to Mendes. Mendes normally at the front in these sessions. He's only gained 2 positions here so far, though. Not the best. Right on the skin of his teeth, he's got 14th there. So it looks like he'll be one that wants to improve. Here comes Brocken across the line in the yellow McLaren. Not an improvement from him. Further behind, here's Owen Harris. Across the line, it looks like that was an improvement, I believe. Who else can we watch here? I think everybody else is just finishing the last couple of laps now. This is the point of the session where tyre wear gets quite high, especially around this track with Coram being one of the highest tyre wear corners of the entire game, if not the highest tyre wear. So it's definitely quite a difficult track with this. Here comes Marco across the line. He's gone third. Very good lap for him. Can Keller improve? He was first earlier on. He's gone down to fourth in the blink of an eye. So he's not going to be happy about that. He's looking to gain positions once again. Here's Dazza Townsend across the line. 1.5 seconds off so far. Not an improvement from here. Here's Thacker across the line. Pinto has just gone about 3/10 quicker. He's had an absolute blinder of a lap. 1:46.5. That is going to stand the test of time, if anything. And the next person behind, which we're watching right now, Thacker in the number 7 Mustang, is 3.5 tenths off. This is a huge difference in lap time. Looks like the rest of the grid will really have to pick up the pace to get anywhere near that number 56 Ferrari. Here comes Simcox in the Lexus here, in 5th place in the number 25. We haven't talked about him much. It looks like he's had a decent qualifying so far. Looking to get more maybe though. Here comes Mendez across the line. Can he improve? No, he cannot. Let's look further behind to Pina in the purple Ferrari. Can he improve? No, he can't. What about Cablo behind him? No, he can't. Everybody's struggling now as we got 2 minutes left on the clock here. 2 minutes left on the clock. Not much time. So everybody that starts a lap now will have 1 lap, and that is it for qualifying. We are reaching the end now. We're sorting out the grid. Here comes Simcox in the Lexus. I told you he'd be quick. He's definitely quick. He's about a 10th and a bit off Pinto here. 1 and a bit tenths. So that is a 1:46.67. 2. So a decent lap for Simcox, but he'll be looking to get pole position here, especially since he's been a real competitor. He's 2nd in the championship currently. Very successful indeed. And now we have reached just under a minute and 40 seconds, which means that anybody who wants to start a lap now, this will be your final lap, and there is no way about it. Even if you're faster than, I don't even know who. You cannot set another lap time, so everybody's done now. Here comes Verith on the centre straight here. Can he improve in the Audi? The number 8 crossing the line now. He won't be able to improve either. Who is in the back there? I think that was Jack Barnett. Where has he gone? He's gone up to 21st. Decent lap for him then. But looks like he's only going to get 1 more in. The 187 car Phase has just got up to 6th. He hasn't really been present in this championship that much, but it looks like when he is present, he really is there. He can definitely show up and put a good result on. As the 74 has just gone off coming out of Murray's. They're still going to cross the line with about 46 seconds left on the clock. Will they get a better lap? I highly doubt it after that little off there. What about Pina behind? It looks like he's not going to improve. What about Cablo? No. I'm going to watch a bit further behind. It looks like Keller has had a miserable qualifying so far. 24th is not really where you want to be when you're about 6th in the championship or so. So it looks like this could be one to forget for him. We'll see what he can do in the 60-minute race though. Here comes David de Jong across the line. He goes 6th place. And it looks like the respective order is going to stay as it is as we hit 0 seconds on the dot. And that is going to be the end of qualifying, everybody. So everybody is just going to finish their lap times now. And then when everybody is finished, we will run you through the grid order for today's 60-minute race. And then in about 5 minutes' time, we'll get underway for the main event. For everybody to battle it out. As they have been so far this season. It's been absolutely fantastic content from everybody so far. As Verith, quite a good lap from him. Only 5 tenths of Pinto, but still not 46 from him. Still nonetheless a good lap. Who have we got crossing the line? We've got the 76 of Mendez. Here's the green and black Aston Martin crossing the line. Can he improve after quite a bad qualifying, unusual qualifying for him? Yes, he goes up to 12th. It's decent, but really not where he wants to be when he's quite far out the championship. Is everybody else crossing the line now? One of the cars behind is Lemon. He went a bit far off at the final corner there. Who's that behind him? That is Simcox. Can Simcox? He is second place right now. Can he improve? Go to first. Yes, he has. Simcox has taken pole position. Absolutely sniped that from Pinto. Pinto will not be happy. He thought he had that in the bag. I thought he had it in the bag. But it looks like I stand corrected here. Pinto, 5,000th of pole position. He will be gutted at that result. But it looks like they will still be on the first row together. As now we can tell you the grid order coming up for the 60-minute race. So on pole position, as we have just seen, the number 25 of Simcox will start in first place on the inside alongside Pinto in the number 56. Then it's Thacker and Marco for the second row. Looks like they'll be quite high up the order. Thacker as well, he's doing really well compared to where he is in the championship. Looking further behind, we have Keller and Townsend. Townsend, we haven't seen much of him so far in the championship, or even in the races at all, really. So, looks like he could be a real wild card going into this run here, as we have the duo behind of David de Jong and Vereth. These two have been separated quite a lot during these races, but they will be together on the grid today. And to round out the top 10, we have Faze and Kruger. And to also having solid results so far in the championship. Now, further behind, we have Jordan Marshall and Mendez. They have had a decent result themselves. Then we have Nicky Weeks and Greg Wood. Behind them, we have Harris and Smets. And then further back in the McLaren Ferrari, we have Scala and Kelleher. Further back, Duda and Pina. And then the Australian of Gunning and Davies in the number 17. Then it's Barnett and Duranlander. Then we have Cablo, Brocken, Gomez, Lemon, George, which rounds out all of the people that have set a lap time. And then the final two on the grid will be Love and Didsbury. So that will set the grid for today. So in a couple of minutes' time, we will have a 60-minute race. I'm going to take a quick break before this race starts, and I will see you in a couple of minutes' time. See ya. Okay, hello everybody, we are back from that tiny little break we had. Okay, so these drivers now get 2.5 minutes to finalise their setups and get ready for this 60-minute long race. As the track temperature at the top right you can see is 12 degrees right now. It's about practice temp, so if anybody sorted their setup out in practice, it looks like it will pretty much be bang on going into this race. Same track condition as well. It's still optimum. Now, just a little rundown in the championship. So, in Pro-Am, the higher class of the tier, we have Keller first on the championship with 39 points. He so far has had really successful rounds, so it looks like he'll be looking to get a second win here. Oh no, sorry, third, I think, here at Stetson. Then it's followed by Simcox with 37 points and Vereth in the Audi, the number 8 car. Then is Greg Wood in the number 11 Aston Martin with 35 points. And we have a bit of a gap here, 3 points to Garrett Spets in the number 2 McLaren. Then, in the M class, the lower class of the tier, we have the Australian of Gunning with 40 points. It looks like he's been dominating the lower class so far. He'll be pretty happy with that. Then behind him is the two Polish men of Duda and Klak. They have had pretty successful results so far with 38 and 37 points respectively. Tied on points so far, we have Dronelander and Kruger with 35 points. And then in 6th place for a bit of a wild card, we have Kelleher, the number 89 car, on 34 points. So now we have about a minute to go until we get started today. These drivers get a full formation lap to warm up the tyres as much as possible. Then, going through one of the final corners, we will go 2x2 formation. And then we will get underway for the 60-minute race. So, 30 seconds now left on the clock.
30 seconds.
There you go, you heard it yourself. Every driver's preparing now.
20 seconds.
20 seconds left, 15 seconds. This is where some of those tense moments start to rise and you really start to feel the suspense on the grid. Every driver is fighting for a championship here, whether it be the overall tier or whether it be their respective classes. So everybody very competitive for these classes, and we've definitely seen that in past races. We'll be looking to have an absolute wonderful race today as Simcox will lead us off the grid today. Simcox immediately braking off the line, trying to get his tyres warm. The Lexus will take us round a lap of the Snetterton 300 layout. And we will start the race in first position. Coming around Ritchie's now. And going down into the Wilson hairpin. These two corners are going to be looking very competitive here over at Snetterton. One of the negatives about this track is that if you're on the outside at the start, you can't really do anything at turn 1 just because, I mean, it's a double apex followed by a hairpin immediately afterwards. So it's quite hard to gain any positions around here, let alone actually stay alongside. So I wonder if we'll see Pinto, the 56 car, looking to just slot in behind Simcox here as we watch the cars drive onto the rundown into Agostini here. These drivers warming up their tyres now, as we do have a car off over here at Palmer. It looks like Disbury gone off at Palmer. Maybe his controller disconnected or something, but it looks like he's going to be making a bit of a rush here back to Agostini to catch up with the grid, and he's taking too much time, so he will have a pit lane start here at Snetterton. Not really what you need with the tight track. Although there are a couple overtaking opportunities here, way more than we've had before in this championship. Although every time I say we don't have much overtaking opportunities, it looks like I've been proven wrong multiple times. So everybody now weaving to get their final little bits of tyre temperature into the car, getting ready now, as in a couple seconds time we will go into 2x2 formation. Everybody will go, as I've said, in rows of 2, preparing for the start. Then the lights will go green and we will get underway in about a minute's time. Here we go, 2x2 we must go. Everybody lining up now. This is, once again, where I said you can really feel the suspense on the grid. Everybody getting really nervous before the start, especially because you don't really want to have a crash around this track. It's definitely not one to have, because if you go to the back, it'll be hard to get back up to the front. As now we are going to round Murray's the final corner with the sausage curb on the inside. You don't want to hit that. That's Pinto's job. He's made it through fine. Now we're going to warm up, everybody lining up in their respective grid places. As now we're going about 50 kilometers an hour, 37 miles per hour. Down the center straight we go. Everybody is really tense here. We will go green any second now. The drivers crawl up to the line and we are going to go green, green, green. We get underway. Jordan Mosher has the drive through straight away. It looks like it's going to be a bad start for him. Simcox is on the inside. Can he clear Pinto in the number 56 Ferrari? No, there's been contact. Pinto has gone off. Simcox has been spun round. Oh my god, this is absolute chaos at the start already. Marco has gone to the lead out of nowhere. He's gained 5 positions off the start, already up to the lead. It's been absolutely chaos, and it's with the top 2 as well. There's chaos behind as well. There's Davies in the background. Dude has just been shafted by Simcox. At the back is there's a couple stranded cars down the order. One of them being Duda, we saw earlier in the Mustang. I think that could be Scala there. That was really chaotic from everyone, and it looks like everybody else has gone through fine so far, as we're just about halfway through Sector 2 now. Jordan Marshall already a bit unfortunate. He has a drive-through straight off the rip because of his grid position. He'll be looking to serve that as soon as possible. One thing I forgot. Oh, there has been... Oh, never mind. That was just a bit of lag, sorry. Do forgive me. As there is a car off at Oggy's. That is the 89 car of Kelleher. And he's gone straight off. And it looks like we may have found a culprit here. That was Greg Wood just peeling off the track there. And he has gone into the barrier. That car looks pretty battered, so we could see him going through the pit lane quite early on. As going through the bomb hole now is Marco. And going through Coram. One thing I forgot to mention, there is a pit window for this race. Everybody has to make one pit stop throughout the race, no matter what. And you have to refuel. You can take tyres if you want to or not, it is optional. And then the time for refueling is fixed, so automatically set to 25 seconds. As you see Jordan Marshall here, taking his drive-through now, if we can click on him. Oh, he's gone into the pit box to serve him. I don't know, he's carried on going. Looks like a bit of a mistake there from him, as Marco has set the fastest lap so far. Everybody now settling into single file, coming around Palmer now. Come all of their respective cars. It looks like that chaos on lap 1 really scared Pinto here, as he's gone down to second place, but I can't remember really what happened. I can't remember if Pinto turned in on Simcox or it was the other way around and Simcox just didn't turn, but looks like the Lexus is definitely suffered the repercussions here. Down in 19th place now. He's going to be looking to gain a load of positions. In fact, he's already gained 2. He's making quick work of these drivers now. As we look further behind to Townsend and Vereth, it looks like they were having a little bit of a battle going through Oggy's there. Coming onto the Bentley straight now, it looks like these drivers will be looking to make some more moves on each other. Gain a couple places for the championship-wise. Is Cablo in the Bentley. He's got a bit of a gap in front and a bit of a gap behind to the Australian of Gunning. Then behind him is Simcox, looking to get back after his contact earlier on. It doesn't look like much visual contact, and it clearly looks like he can keep going, so we will see Simcox in the pits a little bit later. So I wonder if strategy will play into this to try and get ahead of his competitors later on, as we have a bit of a three-way battle here behind. This is Gomez, Smets and Davies. They've all been further back. Here's Gomez, though. He had a bit of a slip going through the bomb hole there, but coming through Coram, this is not the corner where you want to go for an overtake, but it looks like Smets is still looking for a move here, going through Murray's. No, it's not going to do it. Tough corners make an overtake, and it looks like that's been made pretty clear. Here's the 831 of George behind. It looks like he's gone off somewhere. Yeah, this is at Coram. He keeps on going off. I wonder if there's been contact with anybody, but currently he's the only slow car here. Not looking good for him. We're going to look further back to Vereth, Townsend and Keller here. Looks like these three could be getting a little bit of a battle here. This is for 4th place currently. The Audi quite high up in the championship. 3rd place, in fact. The Belgian driver will be looking to make a couple of moves here, try and get further up in the championship. As we're heading on to the Bentley straight now, through Williams we go, as Pinto is off at the front there. He's gone wide at Williams, and it looks like he's suffered the repercussions here. Here comes Thacker on the inside, and it's quite easy, light work for Thacker, as the number 7 car will go down the inside and get him even before we get to Brundle, and through Nelson we go now. A very tough corner indeed. It looks like 56 cars struggling here, and Townsend has been held up a little bit from that, as Vereth is right on the back of him now. These two could be going for a little bit of a battle here as we come through Coram now, and then into Murray's. Not the greatest camera angle here to look at any battles, so We're just going to hope that there's none in front. It looks like Pinto will be looking for a move on Thacker here, although it looks like he's already lost quite a decent chunk of time. We'll see how he handles that later on. As we look further behind, looks like we're talking about Verith and Townsend, but all the meanwhile, look at Keller behind. He's looking very aggressive. He's looking to get some moves done here. It looks like he's not really messing around. At least not now, as we look back to Pinto in front, actually, and he's gained quite a bit of Thacker. But look at Townsend behind. He's right on the back of him. It looks like these drivers all one by one. And it certainly looks like it's going to continue like that for quite a while, as we've only reached 6 minutes so far, and we've still got 9/10 of the race to go. David de Jong currently has the fastest lap. It looks like he's been on the pace recently. We'll see if he can keep that consistency and pace up. Maybe if he can, we'll see him maybe move up the order here, maybe even into the top 5 if he gets a bit lucky during this race as they come through Augies now and going into Williams. It looks like FaZe, though, he's looking a bit competitive here. Could he go for a move early on here? We're still in the first 10 minutes of this race, but these drivers, they have been going at it quite a lot. We've already seen a couple of overtakes during this race, and we may be seeing one in a couple seconds' time. We'll see, though, as we come through Brundle and Nelson now, the tricky chicane. The reason why that's so tricky is because these drivers have to brake during the actual corner, as we see Verith have a bit of a slide there through the bomb hole. Coming around the long hairpin now. This is where tyre wear really hits you, and this is where the tyres could get really hot around this track. And the tyres do really suffer, especially considering that this is a 60-minute race. One of the longest races you will see on the Formula Racing League calendar. The next longest and the actual longest will be in a couple rounds' time, or last round, where we had a 90-minute special event. As there goes Verith, he's got off track. He's had a massive snap going through Riches there. That was a very, very scary moment for him. The other driver wanting to probably forget that moment. It looks like Keller trying to capitalise on it. Still not able to, though. And it looks like we're just seeing consistent pace from all these drivers here. Not really a gap forming, not really a gap slowing down. Although I do say that Pinto has lost quite a decent chunk of time over here to Thacker. Thacker already 1.2 seconds down the road from the 56 car. However, down the road from that is the 629 car of Marco. He's had a successful start, gaining a cheeky 4 positions off the start from the absolute massive chaos at Riches. But, you know, he's been chilling so far, and it looks like his pace has said the exact same thing. As one of the battles we've not been talking about so far is actually Townsend on Pinto. Townsend looking aggressive. Not really close enough, but you could see him move in quite a while, going through the tricky chicane here once again. That pink McLaren does look to be going for a move here. Very competitive indeed, the number 9 car. At least that's what it looks like. Looking further behind now to FaZe on David de Jong. It looks like these two could be having a little bit of a battle now. Sorry, I didn't cover that. Thacker has gained the fastest lap so far. So it looks like he has been picking up the pace. Although as soon as we say that, here's FaZe, the 187 car, right on the back of David de Jong. And they're going to go alongside into Riches, I think. David de Jong trying to cover off the McLaren. And it looks like he's done it quite successfully. Late on the brakes goes de Jong. And going through Riches now, coming out the corner. They are very close indeed. Going into the Wilson hairpin. Could he do it? No, the McLaren late on the brakes, but de Jong later on the brakes. So it looks like these two could be battling for a while. But that moment may not be it for now. And we see this little battle for the top 3 has been rather quiet so far. They've slowly been gaining gaps, although I say that Verith right behind him. He gained the fastest lap just now on lap 5. Belgian driver looking very competitive and looking for a move here on Townsend. We'll see if he can go for it in a couple minutes' time. We'll have to see if they actually manage to get alongside each other, though. Further behind, here's Jordan Marshall after his unfortunate drive-through earlier on. Looks like he could be going for a move on the Duda. Duda was stranded earlier on at the hairpin after being hit by Simcox. Simcox having 2 incidents and 2 quarters, and it was the first 2 quarters of the race. So looks like this could be a forgettable one for the Lexus driver. Although I say that he's already got up to 15th, so it looks like he's making quick work. As we see Disbury here. No, never mind. I don't quite get who that was. Was that Kelleher? Yes, that was Kelleher making a move on Brocken, I believe. Oh, no, Brocken is a lap down. I'm not very sure. Okay. What else can we look to now? Here's a little battle that we haven't talked about much. Here's Owen Harris on Jack Barnett, the Mustang and the McLaren. Yeah, very much different cars, but it looks like we could see a battle between them. We're actually going to look further forward to Dazza Townsend here. Could we see a move from him on the 56 black Ferrari? Going down into Agostini now. Too far back for him. Maybe Vereth could be going for a move, actually. Vereth looking competitive and looking fast. He currently has the fastest lap, funny enough, so once again, the Audi driver. He'll be looking to move forward. We're going to look further back to FaZe and De Jong. These guys have been quite on it for a while now, as we are 12 minutes into this 60-minute race. Here is, or here was Garrett Spitz on Davies, although he is still on the back of them. We see a little 3-way battle here between Cablo, Davies and Garrett Spitz. It looks like Cablo has made a significant mistake here, being 3 seconds off gunning and 2.5 seconds ahead of Davies, but look at that gap now. That does not look like 2.5 seconds to me. That's the 2 V8 powered cars, but I will go through Nelson for the 7th time. Yeah, number 17 Mustang looking to make a move here, although we say that, and the number 2 McLaren behind also looking to make a move. As Cablo, the number 84 car, has just gone really wide at Coram there. Going into Murray's. It's not going to be a good run. There's contact between the 3 of them, in fact. I don't know what happened there. I think Cablo just stamped on the brakes. It looks like Davies just did not expect that at all. The Mustang getting really caught off guard there, and Garrett Spitz had nowhere to go. He was also an innocent person in this situation. Looks like that was a forgettable moment, although as soon as I say that, Cablo has got off track. So Cablo has got off. He will, in fact, he has rejoined, though now he's behind Greg Wood, further behind in 21st. Like, can we look to further ahead? Here's Townsend once again on the back of Pinto. Excuse me, as we see Kruger now, the number 44 Gold Mustang, as there is actually contact behind. Hold on for a moment. Here is the green and black Aston Martin flying off track there at Nelson. I wonder what happened to him. Maybe contact at Brundle. He's lost a couple of positions now, and it looks like he's gone down quite a lot of positions, down even to 15th place. 5 positions lost because of that. If there was contact, it looks like we could see a visit to the stewards, but we have more important things to watch right now. Here's Pinto on the back of Thacker here. This is the fight for 2nd place. A Mustang versus a Ferrari. This is a very interesting battle indeed. A V8 powered machine, a very tall car versus a very short car and a V6. These 2 cars very different, yet racing on the same track very equally. As Marco, our current leader, is already 5 seconds down the road. He's made light work of Thacker so far. And I say light work of Thacker, mean light work of pretty much the whole grid. 5 seconds down the road already, with the fastest lap as well. Looks like that clean air is paying off, as if you could see the map in the bottom right now, you can see the 69 car all the way down, already at Brundle. And the Mustang and the Ferrari only halfway down the straight, although we could see a little bit of a move here, would be very risky. Yes, that is. I was going to say, you can't really go for a move here. I have seen moves done at Brundle, although I haven't seen clean ones done at Brundle, so I doubt we could see a move done there today. Although, as I've said before, these drivers have proven me wrong. They have, all of them have really good amounts of skill. These drivers are so competitive and so good in terms of racing. The sportsmanship is out of this world between all of these drivers. And it's exactly the reason why our motto is sim racing at its very best, because that is what we like to represent. And you're seeing it firsthand here, all of these drivers driving absolutely brilliantly, as we've just missed an overtake from Simcox to Harris. As Verith has gone off. Sorry, that was a really bad cut-off there, as we go through the Wilson hairpin now, the corner before our Riches. It looks like Verith went really far off there, and he's lost quite a lot of time. We're going to look further ahead to Dazza Townsend and Pinto. These two could be having a little bit of a battle, running down to Agostini now. The McLaren looking very competitive. Can he go for a move at the hairpin? No, he can't. He's going to hold on for a bit longer, see if he can get it later on. As there has been contact between Gomez here. This is Gomez and Brocken. It looks like these two contact at Murray's. We've already seen some large amounts of contact at Murray's, and as Brocken has entered the pit lane, and it looks like sufficient damage has been done. We're going to look back, and we are on the Bentley straight now, the McLaren, the pink McLaren I should say, looking very competitive. In fact, he's going to go for a move at Randall. No, he's not. Ferrari just braking later than the McLaren. The pink number 9 car looking very helpless so far. Though I say that, and Pinto's just had a bit of a slap there. Go through Coram now, the three of them going around this long right-hander. Looks like Verith looking to get stuck in here. Doesn't hurt to get involved with the battle, as Keller went a bit far off there behind. Looks like he's going to fall into the hands of David Dion. We're going to look further ahead to Desert Townsend. He's on the inside at Riches. Here we go on the braking zone. The pink McLaren almost running into the back of Pinto there. That was very close indeed. Once again, the McLaren late on the brakes. The Ferrari later on the brakes. This Ferrari cannot be stopped so far. And all of them looking really competitive for this podium position here. Looks like after Pinto was looking for a move earlier on, has fallen into the hands of the two drivers behind, Townsend and Verith, and Thacker has gone quite far down the road, at least over a second now, as Townsend has gone really wide for Agostini there, really late on the brakes, almost hitting the back of Pinto, and it looks like Verith has capitalised. He is right on the back of Townsend, going through the sharp left-hander of Hamilton now, going into Oggies. At the braking zone, these two very close indeed, although Pinto has gone wide once again and fallen into the hands of Townsend once again. These three not really separated by much, and by much I mean at all during this race. Excuse me, as going down the Bentley straight now. Go through Brundle and Nelson. Yeah, tricky chicane, although it looks like Verith has handled it quite well. He looks to be right on the back of the number 9 McLaren, the number 8 car. The number 8 Audi looking to be gaining positions here as he is third in the championship. And it looks like he's already capitalised on Simcox, who is second in the championship. However, Keller is right behind him, and it looks like he will want to gain points over him. We could see a change of championship here. I will tell you next round if possible. Just a little note, by the way, big thanks to Jordan Marshall. Just before the race happened, he managed to give me a rundown of the championship standings, so we didn't have to look at the dodgy SimGrid standings. So massive thanks to Jordan Marshall. He will also be the one posting the replay, which you'll see in about a day or two after the actual races happened, as we're going to look further ahead once again to the number 9 McLaren. We are at the 40-minute mark, so we are now 20 minutes in. This is where drivers could be stopping now, and then as soon as that timer hits 30 minutes or so, we could see around about half the grid in the pits. A lot of people like to stop exactly at the halfway mark to use the most of their tyres if possible. If there's actually a tyre stop, that is a good question. And now it's up to the drivers to decide, as we see Townsend there on the exit of Oggies going a bit wide. And it looks like going down the Bentley straight now, the V10, I think, of Verith will now go down the Bentley straight. They're going to go side by side into Brandon, properly side by side. Wow, it's going to be so close between the two drivers. The number 8 and the number 8 car, the number 8 and the number 9 cars, sorry, they are so close together. Going through the bomb hole now. It's very close between the both of them. Keller hits the back of Verith. That was so close. I wonder if there was actual contact and maybe even damage there. It was very close between the both of them. I don't know how they both made it out alive coming through the chicane, and they were still side by side even after that. They go through the bomb hole. They were so close together that Keller managed to catch up and even hit the back of Verith. These two having a great battle so far. However, now that leads to a big gap grown between Townsend and Pinto. And we could see a one-sided battle here. Somebody has gone off in front though, and that is Gerrit Smets, a lapped car. McLaren going off to try and avoid anybody trying to get through. Here comes the three drivers, Townsend, Verith and Keller. Coming through Palmer now, and now in the braking zone of Agostini. I do apologise if I don't sound that great. I have been a bit ill recently. So, not feeling the best, but nonetheless, we love to see the live broadcast of these races. It's absolutely wonderful to watch all of these drivers. They are such highly skilled people that, you know, it's always a privilege to commentate, let alone watch them race. And to be a part of this community is really one of the things you have to experience. It's one of, if not the biggest console communities in terms of Assetto Corsa Competizione ever. Is a really great community, and obviously it's always really nice to take part in these races. So if you do want to take part, head over to the Discord. But right now it looks like Verith could be going around the outside on the centre straight. Oh, that was very dangerous from the McLaren indeed. McLaren forcing him off on the straight. Now, I'm no scientist, but turning left on a straight probably isn't the best idea, as Keller has gone off in the background there. It looks like he was very scared of the Audi in the background. The Audi taking a huge bump there, and he's lost a bit of time. A bit further behind him, you have David de Jong and FaZe. These two have been very close together throughout most of the race so far. The two of them now running down to Agostini. We'll see if we can see a battle here. Maybe even between de Jong and Keller. Is that what it looks like? As we look for further behind to Gunning and Wood, the Australian being kind of kicked there from the back of the Aston Martin. These two will be alongside now into Palmer. Going down this little bitty straight, and looks like Gunning looking very compliant indeed and letting him through. At least that's what it looks like. Unfortunately for him, he does have quite a high ping, so being in Australia, it's quite hard to, you know, race with communities when you're on the other side of the planet to basically half of the community here. The actual Formula Racing League is mostly British, so a lot of these drivers have quite low ping, and this is obviously where the servers are based, so any drivers outside of Europe normally have quite high ping, and it's really unfortunate to see. But nonetheless, they power forward, and we're going to watch a little bit of a battle here. Keller round the outside of Murray's. Can he make it stick? That's going to be a fantastic overtake. He can't make it stick. There's contact, and Keller's going to be on the grass. There's George there letting all of them through, and it looks like David de Jong could be capitalising. They're going to go side by side with Keller now. Oh my god, it's so close between the two of them. Wow, that was absolute cinema between all of them. Keller looking really aggressive. David de Jong has spun and he's hit the barrier. He's hit the barrier. He's gone off at riches. That was really, really, difficult for him. And he's made contact with George. George has been spun round. There's cars everywhere to look at, and it's absolute insanity. Keller there was being really, really aggressive there, looking to get a move as soon as possible. On Verith, he went around the outside, tried to make the move stick. He almost made it stick. He got pushed off the track. He was on the grass. Then, because he lost the time, he went alongside with David de Jong. And then de Jong almost got alongside, but he didn't manage to. Then after that, we obviously saw him have a little bit of spin. However, he is still ahead of Nicky Wheat. I'm guessing he'll be pretty happy about that. As we do move onwards, and unfortunately for Keller, in that chaos, he's still gained no positions at all. He's still in 5th place. Oh, as we see Keller go very, very wide through Brandel there. That was a very, very aggressive line indeed. That was truly not the intended line. But looks like he's still on the back of Verith here. Everybody now settling down. Wow, that was Verith really, really early on. Heading into the pits here for the first and only time. You could pit. Oh no, that counts as the pit stop. All the other pits are voluntarily, and now we start to see the flourishing of Simcox here. He did have really good pace earlier on. He qualified on pole. But after his contact at turn 1, he's headed down the order quite far, but with the fastest lap now, he's looking to maybe gain a couple of positions and maybe get ahead of Verith here, the number 8 Audi, which they are battling in the championship. They are 1 point apart from each other. So, looks like I'm not going to be surprised if they are going to be very competitive during this race, as we see FaZe go a bit far off. He's trying to chase Keller, but it looks like Keller, the Lamborghini, has grown a bit of a gap now. The 179 having a quite successful run so far. Currently leading the championship by 2 points. It looks like he will be looking to lead the championship even further. As there is somebody off there. Oh my god, that looked very close indeed. I think that was that Scala in the background? Yes, it was, in the orange and purple McLaren. He's had really significant contact there. That car looks very, very much battered. A lot of dirt and a lot of damage indeed. He'll be looking to bring that one back to the garage, and it very much looks like that. Looks like it. And he might block Owen Harris in. No, he's decided to go off track, but that has led him to spin out, and he's hit the barrier even more. That will definitely be going back to the garage, and we will see him there soon. Here is Thacker in the pit lane now. Thacker go for his pit stop. We'll see if he's ahead of Verith, but I can bet you quite a lot that he probably will be. Owen Harris following suit. Now Simcox will inherit 7th place, and Keller will inherit 3rd place, along with Townsend now in 2nd. One person we haven't talked about much this race, Marco in front. He has had a very, very successful race so far. He's been quite competitive for the championship after winning round 2 over at Bathurst on the other side of the world. He He's looking to get his second win of the championship here. As we now reach the halfway mark, this is where, as I said earlier, you will see most of the cars entering the pit lane for their mandatory pit stop that they have to complete. And so he's had quite a successful race so far. 13.4 seconds down the road from the number 9 McLaren. That is quite the gap indeed. We'll see him at the end, I think. And I will not be surprised if he takes the win today at Snetterton. I'm sure he'll be happy about that as he enters the pit lane for his pit stop. Now that is a very, very broken McLaren there. Now, I think that was broken. That looks very broken indeed. And here's Marco entering his pit stop now. The leader will go to the pit stop. Dazza Townsend for the first time will enter the lead for Taco Tuesday. Looks like he's had a successful run so far, managing to gain quite a lot of positions. We haven't seen him pretty much at all in the championship, so it's nice to see him be present, let alone actually leading the race so far, so he'll be happy about that. We'll see how long that lasts though, as we're gonna watch Simcox here, has also entered the pit lane. The car you probably want to look out for, as Marco now will leave the pit lane. And he will come out definitely far ahead of Verith. So we'll see what happens there. That is Pina. Oh, wow. That was quite the battering indeed. That was Pina, the purple Ferrari there, being what looked like spun out by the pink McLaren. Being hit twice there. So the McLaren having quite a lot of damage there, I suspect. That doesn't look like much visually. And unfortunately, that has led to a very much diminished gap between him, Keller and FaZe now, and we could see the three of them maybe even having a bit of a battle for first place as we enter the second leg of round 4. This is also now the second leg of the championship as well. We are already halfway through. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess. I've definitely been having fun myself with this championship. It's been really fun to watch so far as we come through Coram now, down into Murray's, late on the brakes for all of them pretty much. Will any of them enter the pit lane? I'm sure one of them will. Dazza Townsend will not, Keller will not, FaZe will not. I stand corrected. All three of them opted to stay out the pits, and we'll see how that turns out by the end of the race. His Townsend once again, looks like Keller's right on the back of him now. The 179 Aston Martin Lamborghini, sorry, is looking quite competitive as I say Dazza Townsend has braked late, Keller's braked later, and FaZe has braked the latest. He braked really, really late there and almost went off track while doing so. So that wasn't very optimal for him. We'll see if he can gain back from that little mistake at the Wilson hairpin. Keller so far is about 3/10 off Dazza Townsend, although as we were talking about FaZe earlier on, he's already caught up to the back of Keller here. Here's Townsend onto the Bentley straight we go. I'm sure that Keller will probably be faster down the straight, but how much faster? That is a very good question indeed. As we go through the tricky chicane of Rundle and Nelson now, two of them very much consecutively running through each corner one by one. The number 77 car, I think that is Nicky Weech, yeah, so he was a bit slow on the Bentley straight. I wonder if anything happened to him. Didn't catch it, unfortunately. Yeah, as you look at the side now, oh wow, Dazza Townsend and Keller looking to make their pit stop now. They will do their mandatory stop and drop down the order. So FaZe, for the first job as well, I think, will lead Taco Tuesday. The 187 McLaren having a decent race so far. Not too much going on for him, but you know, a boring race is a good race, as we see David de Jong inherit second place now. Here's Marco coming out the final corner, and these guys have only just stopped to their pit boxes. They probably have about 15 seconds left to go. Meanwhile, on the left side, you will see Marco fly past them. I'm not sure you'll see him again. Well, I say that, and Townsend and Keller have both completed their pit stops, so that is a big gap indeed, but I think it's much less than before. Let's say that, and look at Thacker behind. Thacker was second place for most of the race, but look at this now. He's gone behind both Keller and Vereth and Townsend. Keller, oh my god, he did. That was crazy. I don't know if you saw it in the corner of the screen. He went on two wheels for basically a solid second there. Hit the curb on the inside. And sometimes you don't even need a sausage curb for that. You can just do it with riches, apparently. That was crazy action. I don't know how we came out of that alive, but, you know, the Lamborghini still runs. As we are going to watch these two in front now, will FaZe go into the pit lane? Yes, he will, doing his eventual pit stop. Looking further behind to David de Jong, it looks like he will stay out of the pits, and he will be our fourth person to inherit the lead now. As going down the centre straight, he will lead the race and lead for the 20th lap now. Meanwhile, Marco has led a really big chunk of this race so far, and it looks to be paying off quite a lot as you look at the gap behind, and that is a solid 12 seconds, and 12 seconds is quite a lot, although it looks like that gap could be going down. Bit of an off there for Marco, although nothing that off is going to lose 12 seconds anyways, so all of them looking very clear from each other. We're going to look further behind here to Pinto after his drama earlier on. He's so far been doing alright, although now he's on the back of Jack Barnett. Going through the chicane now, and going through Bombhole, the little right kink. We're going to look further ahead now, actually, to FaZe, and he has just come out the pit lane. So we're actually not going to look at him. Look at these two behind, about 4 tenths between them now. We could see a move here. This is for 10th place. We definitely want to be in the top 10 by the end of this race, and I think that's what Pinto looks eager to be aiming for. Let's come through Richie's now. Looks like Pinto has got amazing run. Going into the Wilson hairpin, it's going to be an absolute set, and that was contact between the two of them now. Yeah, I was going to say Pinto might have to let that position back, and he has indeed. He was very, very aggressive on the brakes there, basically using the blue and yellow Mustang as the brake pedal. But they have made it through all right with not much damage at all, as David de Jong heads out to the pit lane, and we are watching Marco now coming through Coram. He will inherit the lead of this race, as he has for most of his stint, I guess you could say now. And we could see Thacker maybe in 5th place, maybe even 6th, depending on where de Jong comes out. As Marco has already gone past him. Here's Thacker now, and de Jong has already completed his pit stop. He will be leaving the pits now, and he will be ahead of Keller and Thacker. The two of them were ahead of him, but now they're behind him. So de Jong also having a successful pit stop. So it looks like the overcut might for the strat, although I say that Keller immediately looking for a move on the Ferrari with cold tyres, and look at that switchback from Christian Keller. That was an absolute blinder of a move. We're going to go side by side now into Palmer. David de Jong is going to be on the inside there. The Ferrari looking very competitive. The Lamborghini, though, has the warm tyres. He's going to have the advantage. He has gone off. He's gone too wide. He's been looking very aggressive during this race, and almost too aggressive, especially there as well, looking to get the move done on the cold-tyred 306 car. But there's aggressive, and then there's that. So, a very successful move for him. We're going to look further back now. We haven't really talked about the back lot of the grid too much. Here's Kruger in the gold 44 Mustang. Looks like he's wanting to get past, that is Gunning here. Gunning in quite the unusual position here because he is leading the AM Championship right now by 2 points to Duda. Although Duda, nowhere to be seen so far, he is down in 23rd. The next car behind in the championship is Clack. He has not even arrived to this race. Then it's Dronelander. Dronelander is in 13th. And then after that, it's Kruger. So, technically a fight for the championship here. Although, between Kruger and Gunning, there is 5 points. So, quite a lot of positions needed to try and get the championship lead off him. It looks like it could be going to Dronelander. Dronelander also needing 5 points to take the lead of the championship. If so, we're going to look further ahead now to Keller and De Jong. These two have been going at it for a lap now. It looks like the second time they go through the Wilson hairpin. It looks like they're alongside again. Keller looking to go around the outside, although around the outside our hairpin is not going to make it stick. We're going to go through Palmer now. Here is George in the Porsche ahead. He will wanting to be letting these three through. Now Stack up behind, just staring at these two, wanting them to battle, and he's gonna maybe... Oh, there was almost contact there between Keller and De Jong. I was gonna say Thacker might want to capitalise. We almost saw contact there, and he almost capitalised indeed, going from 6th to 4th. Would have been very successful for the number 7 driver. Though unfortunately, he's not gonna get what he wants. Look into the top right of your screen now. We have about 18 minutes left to go now. So we are in the final third of this race. And as I've said every time, this is where desperation starts to creep in. This is where these drivers really get that anger and try to gain a couple positions, because these are the dying moments, and any positions, any points are crucial for the championship. After this, we have a tricky few rounds indeed, and drivers will be looking to gain positions here while they can, because these tracks moving onwards. Yeah, moving onwards, sorry, it will be very difficult for these drivers. We're going to see Keller here still right on the back of De Jong, but too far back to make a move, and Thacker here looking to capitalise still on these two if they do go for a move. We'll see if they do in a while. Just for your information, the rounds after this, after round 4, we have the Nordschleife, which will be a very interesting round indeed. Then after that we have our second and final special race, the 90 minutes at Monza, and then the finale will be at Indianapolis. The Brickyard will be a very interesting track as a finale indeed. I do not like it myself, but we'll see how everybody else handles it, and we'll see that in about 3 weeks' time at the end of February. Wow. Here we go, Keller, the red and black Lamborghini now. Still on the back of the Ferrari. Still looking to go for a move, although the Ferrari looking very stubborn indeed. And stubborn he should be, as he is in 4th. And the next car ahead is 7.4 seconds down the road. So, gaining positions here is basically a no-go. So, losing a position here is a no-go as well. He does not want to lose this now. As we see Verith in front, he has the fastest lap so far. This is an interesting story. He is catching up to Marco. Marco, the leader, has absolutely driven off with this one. He was around 15 seconds down the road at one point, but later on, and it seems to have changed quite a lot. 8 seconds down the road now. Although we say that, fastest lap has now gone to DeFaze. DeFaze stealing it. And Verith will be looking to slowly decrease that gap. Well, I say slowly, he's got 15 minutes to do it, so we'll probably want to pick up the pace, quite literally, to try and get a move done here. There was Keller late on the brakes there, still looking for a move, but the Lamborghini, I doubt he's going to get a move done now. Proving not very promising so far. We have a bit of an issue behind. The 89 car of Kelleher has gone off. He's pulling into the pit lane now for an optional pit stop, and that car looks battered, so I don't think it was optional for him. So, not looking very good for him. Here's Thacker on the back of Keller now. Keller looking to gain a load of time and overtake De Jong, but it looks like it's backfired. And instead of being on the offense, he's now on the defense. And further behind them is Simcox, 4 seconds behind. He will be looking to gain more positions, trying to keep his championship alive. As we now move onwards, down the centre straight we go for the 25th time. With only 13.5 minutes left to go, Keller will be looking for a move very soon, because he may not be able to catch up to Townsend now with a rather quiet race after the pit stop sequence. But still, a 4th place is a good result, and we'll be looking for that one, especially because Simcox is catching up quite quickly. 5/10 a sector compared to Thacker so far. And that 5/10 a sector will probably also apply to them, as we're going to watch them go side by side into Agostini now. No, it won't be. Around the outside of the hairpin is not where you want to do it. So I was about to click on Cablo because he did go off at Oggy's. He had the Bentley had a bit of an off, but it looks like he's carried on now, as these two were battling it out. So these two, Thacker getting stuck in now, these three. For all we know, it could be these 4 as we watch Simcox. Only a couple seconds down the road now, as there has been a spin for David de Jong. David de Jong being victim to a spin earlier on at Riches. He's had the same treatment here at Williams, going onto the Bentley straight. He will not be happy about that one after defending for about 10 minutes or so. Looks like he's had his second spin, and that is definitely going to be gutting for De Jong. He was up in 4th and now he's dropped down to 7th. But Keller will definitely have a grin on his face as he gains 1 more position, but so does Simcox as well. So how much has he really gained here? That is the question. Is the Lexus now only 2.8 seconds down the road from the Mustang in 5th place? How much is that gap now? 2.4 seconds. It's decreasing by pretty much 5/10 every time we cross the sector line. So Thacker and Keller will be looking to pick up the pace, especially Keller though, after looking to try and get a move done. We have a yellow flag. That is the number 10 car, the number 10 of Pina. The purple Ferrari looks to have gone on the wall, had the same treatment as David de Jong. So he won't be very happy about that. Yeah, but Keller will be looking to keep his position right now, trying to also gain a gap to Thacker. So Thacker can battle Simcox, and then when Simcox eventually gets past, at least that's what Simcox is hoping, then the Lexus will be a bit slower and a bit further back than right now. At least that's what he's thinking. Although as soon as I say that, Keller has gone off at Williams there, going a bit wide on the exit. Not very optimal for him, and he's lost all that time again. And look at Thacker, already 5/10 behind him now. So who can we watch now? We haven't watched Davies much. Commentator for the BMW M2 Thursday Cup, as he has almost a bit of a spin there. The green and blue Mustang right on the back of Dronelander here. We haven't talked about him much. He is currently one of the big competitors right now in the AM Championship and the leader in AM currently. So he will be looking to deliver good points for himself and try to put himself up in the championship. And Kruger has finally gotten past Gunning, looking to move on over to Jordan Marshall. Jordan Marshall in the Pro-Am Championship. So won't be, championship-wise, it won't be a good position to gain. But track-wise, it'll definitely be a good one, because then he can move on and try and maybe overtake Davies and Dronelander, if he gets the opportunity. Now, we have reached the 10-minute mark left to go. We have minuscule amounts of time left. We are in the final 6th of this race. Once again, everybody now getting desperate, looking for some final moves, some final little chunks of pace here and there. Here's Greg Wood on the back of Jack Barnett. We haven't talked about these two much either. The Aston Martin, the number 11, currently rounding out the top 10, going into Agostini now. We're going to look further behind to Garrett Smets here. So, Garrett is on the back of Pena now. Funnily enough, Smets had a really good round. Or no, had some consistent, decent rounds so far. However, one of the big issues is that he's currently 5th in the championship, and that looks to be no longer. Down in 19th. This is not what you want to be when you're fighting for a championship up front. Although as soon as I say that, we see Pena's car and it is absolutely ruined. That is not a car to look at. That is not a photogenic car, dare I say. As we look at Simcox behind, 2 seconds down the road now. Looks like he's not really catching that much, and 8 minutes left to go. Will he gain any positions? We will see in about 8 minutes' time. Coming out the final corner now is Greg Wood. Jack Barnett and the number 13 Mustang having a decent championship so far. He's not in the top 5 of either championships, but still nonetheless he carries on. The Mustang being quite competitive throughout the multiple rounds we have had. As soon as I say that, Greg Wood looking very competitive here. Oh wow, that was something I did not expect to see. That's huge contact behind. That was George with, I can't remember who that was. I think that was Pinto. That was very much caught me off guard, if anything. Going through Palmer there. George in the Porsche was just straight in the middle of the road. Jack Barnett had to take avoiding action. He did so very well. He did the best he could, but Greg looks like he's going to get the best out of that one. And the 11 Hot Racing Aston Martin will move up into 9th place now. Now, as soon as I was talking about Simcox earlier on, he has gained 1.3 seconds on Thacker. 1.3. That is a very, very big gap indeed. And that is Duda there in a rather battered Mustang. Although as soon as I say that, 3.6 seconds now the gap between Simcox and Thacker. That doesn't look to be very appealing to him, I'm sure. Looking further behind there, there is George in front in the Porsche. He's had an absolute mare of a season so far. Rather a forgettable one. We'll see if we can carry on though, as even more avoiding action has to be taken there. There is Jordan Marshall right alongside Davies here. After George spun once again at Coram. It looks like everybody had to take avoiding action. So Dronelander had to stamp on the brakes, but then when getting back on the throttle, he managed to get a better jump compared to all these drivers. Now Davies, Marshall and Kruger all now are very close together. Excuse me. Now 5 minutes left on the clock. And these three drivers very close together. Here's Kruger on the back of the V8 Mercedes, the black and red 23 car. The 44 car looking to maybe gain a position here in the dying moments of this race. We have a car in the pit lane, and that is the 89 car. The 89 car is Kelleher. It looks like he's stayed on the pit lane pretty much ever since he got into the pit lane, I believe. Coming onto the Bentley straight now comes the respective Ford, Mercedes Ford. The French driver of Marshall looks very threatened by the Mustang sandwich that he is surrounded by. He'll be looking to get out of that, but it looks like it may be the wrong way as Kruger's right on the back of him now. We go through the second to last corner now, the long right-hander, burning more and more of those tyres. On the brakes now for the final corner. And on the centre straight we go. Somebody has got a bit far off there. I don't know who. And I believe that was Dronelander, because Davies has gotten ahead of Dronelander. That turned out to be quite expected. Here is George once again impeding these drivers. In fact, Davies has had to go off. Jordan Marshall was flown across the screen. He had to take really, really bad avoiding action there. He's done very well to somehow not make contact, but he literally had to fly off the track. So, I'm sure after the race, George, the elapsed car, will be looking to make definitely a couple of visits to the stewards after those many incidents that he has been involved with. 3 minutes left on the clock now for all of these drivers. We will complete roughly 33 laps as Marco comes out of the Wilson hairpin. So we've got around 2 laps left to go. I'm sure Marco has been counting the other laps for quite a while now, after gaining over 3 seconds now on Vereth, compared to the last time we saw him. Here's the blue and green Mustang going on the Bentley straight now, right on the back of the red Ferrari of Dronelander. Dronelander having some front end damage. Will that affect his driving? It doesn't look it. He's been defending quite well so far. As we go through the chicane of Brundle and Nelson. These two have been quite competitive so far indeed. As we round Coram for the 32nd time. 31st, sorry. Around the final corner we go, as Dronelander has gone off once again. That is consecutive laps. He has gone off at the final corner. Jordan Marshall even is taking advantage of that. He was quite far behind Dronelander, and even he's taking advantage as the two Mustangs now, Davies and Kruger, they're looking to have a battle. Going into the Wilson hairpin we go. They're going to go side by side. No, they don't. They are both moving, going into the braking zone. They are looking very competitive between the both of them, sorry. As now, after flying off the track earlier on, Jordan Marshall in the background has caught back up as the leader. Marco has entered the final lap. We will see him in about a minute or so time to congratulate him on his fantastic result so far. He has had a really good race. Pretty much a boring one, but as they say, a boring race can be a good race.
Pit window is now closed.
I see a pit window now closes. Everybody has completed their pit stop except for me. But I am the commentator, of course, as now we come through Williams for the 32nd time. Onto the Bentley straight we must go. And the Mustangs consecutively follow each other now through the chicane of Brundle and Nelson. Here's Jordan Marshall in the foreground. As once again, Dronelander has gone off. He has not been having the greatest races within these last 10 minutes of this race. He's kept on going off. He's been struggling quite a lot Now, we're going to switch the cameras over to our leader currently. Actually, we're going to have a quick look at Simcox here. We're on the back of Thacker. But it looks like these two will be separated. Yep, Simcox has gone wide at the final corner. Oh, I did not mean to do that. My apologies. Marco now coming through the bomb hole for the final time, coming round Coram. He will be looking to celebrate his, I believe, second victory of the season. The changed up livery has seemed to work for him. The 629 car will win the 4th round of Taco Tuesday Tier 2. He will win at Snetterton. Really, really good result for the Ferrari driver. Absolutely fantastic result. A boring race is a good race indeed. As here comes Verth across the line. The number 8 car managing to clinch second place. He's also had a really good race. And Dazza Townsend, his first race of the season, and he ends up 3rd. He's had a really good round so far. Here comes Keller next across the line. He got a bit lucky earlier on, so he's gone up to 4th. Thacker and Simcox really close together, but they will come 5th and 6th respectively. Here comes FaZe across the line, the 187 car finishing in 7th place with the fastest lap as well. Here was Owen Harris coming around the final corner. You can see the cars that have already finished. Yeah, Owen Harris now crossing the line ahead. The Sky Tempesta car finishing 8th ahead of the Aston Martin, the Half Racing car. Greg Wood has also had a really good result as he's going to pile into the barrier. Here comes Mendes. Speaking of a battered car, the 76 Aston Martin is now going to come down the centre straight for the final time. Cross the line in 10th place. Good result for Mendes indeed. Next person across the line is Barnett. He has managed to stay ahead of Kruger at the end of this race. So the Mustang duo will stay in their respective order as they come across the line. That was very close indeed between the two of them. Marshall will cross the line and then Davies. They've all had a really decent race so far. There's Drone Lander crossing the line. And last person to cross the line is Gunning, the Australian. Actually, we do have a couple more. Here's George, the final car to cross the line properly now. And that is going to be your finishing order. Although I say finishing order, this is the provisional finishing order. So after the race, the stewards will be talked to and they will have a chat and see if they need to put any penalties on after the race. So a big congratulations to everybody that completed the race, as now we're going to run down the order. Marco, having one of the simplest races ever, going through turn 1, he managed to start 5th, end up 1st, and from then on he never looked backwards, clearly, as he finished 1st with a fantastic race, one to remember indeed, especially after Bathurst round 2. Vereth, the number 8 Audi, the Belgian driver, having also a very good round indeed. He finished 2nd place, and to round out the podium with Dazza Townsend, really, really good result for the number 9 car. You don't see him much, but when you do see him, he's quick, I guess. Then behind him, we have Keller, the 179 Lamborghini. He's done really well in this race as well. That will be crucial for the championship, sorry. Behind him is Thacker and Simcox, them 2.5 tenths between each other then, so they were very close across the line. Behind them is FaZe in the 187 car, also clinched the fastest lap while gaining some crucial points in 7th place. Behind that is Owen Harris, Greg Wood and Mendes, rounding up the top 10 for 8th, 9th and 10th respectively. Then we have the Mustang duo, Jack Barnett and Kruger. Jack Barnett almost laying through Kruger at the very end there, not knowing where the line was, so very close indeed. 45 thousandths of a second, bit too close for comfort. At least that's what I would say. In 13th place, good result from Jordan Marshall. That will probably be quite good for the championship indeed. Further behind him is Darren Davies and Drone Lander. Them two also having decent results, and that rounds out the top 15. Further behind, the Australian of Gunning in the 121 Bentley finished 16th. Even with his high ping, he still finishes in good positions. Props to him. Then it's Smets, Pina, Lemon and De Jong. De Jong, after having his disaster earlier on, managed to recover up to 20th place, and that will round out the top 20. Further behind, We have Callo, the number 84 Bentley. Then we have Love, Duda, Gomez, and Pinto. They will run out the top 25 after Pinto had his absolute disaster class earlier on. Definitely a race to forget for him, unfortunately. Further behind them is Didsbury, Scala, George, and Brocken. So that is the list of drivers that have finished the race. They completed... they managed to finish the race in the 29th. The two drivers who didn't finish the race, we don't even get time, was, I think, Kelleher and somebody else. And that is going to be the race, everybody. Unfortunately, I didn't get to save the replay for highlights. So that is going to be it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this stream. This was a fantastic round for everybody involved. And it just shows the skill of these drivers, the resilience from everyone in this race. So, that has been Taco Tuesday Tier 2. I am Daniel Crossman, and I will see you next time over at the Nordschleifer.